There's something about you, your voice is all in my head. All in my head, all in my head. I cannot stop thinking about what we did. Oh, what we did. I just need one more night to beat it up. One more night to beat it up. Your body keep calling, calling my name. Just one more night to beat it up. No more night to beat it up. Have our own private party. Finish what we started, girl.
What's up, guys? I'm Tiffany Tony, and this is another episode of Lipstick Tea. Welcome back. I want to start by introducing our lovely panel. We'll start with you, Margot.
Hi, I'm Margot Graff.
Lady in red. Mika.
Hey guys, I'm Miko Rounds.
Shorty.
Hey guys, I'm Shorty. I'm wearing my Nipsey blue today. Hey.
Shorty
Nipsey
Blue.
We are not gang affiliated, just so you know, even though it
Nipsey
looks like it
Blue.
right now. And we have our amazing guest, Mikkel Barlow.
Hi.
How you
Hey,
doing?
Great. Glad to be here.
Sure.
Thank you.
You was supposed to wave out your fan like,
I mean, do you want me to?
Okay, Zaddy.
Zaddy. I like that. That's my name now.
Zaddy.
Okay, so this is our lovely guest, Zoddy.
Thanks for having me.
Of
guys.
course. So tell us a little bit about what you do. I know you create content, and you are a member of the community.
Yeah. I moved out of LA about 8 years ago.
8 years ago?
8 almost. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So you
8
made
years
it.
ago. I mean, I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm here.
for
I'm a screenwriter, producer.
me and Margot need jobs.
A little bit of an
Right.
actor. Do music? Do it all.
What's your favorite kind of content to create?
Right now,
Or like what genre?
genre. They frown upon the phrase dramedy, but
I love
I love a good
that's
dramedy.
That's
I
where I
love
lean.
dramedy.
I think it's easier for me to write dramedy.
It's always good with a little comedic relief.
Well, yeah, like 'cause-
you gotta have heavy material, but you can't be too heavy. You gotta make them laugh a little bit.
right.
Right.
But people say the reason why they frown on it is because they're like drama or comedy. Pick one because comedy has drama.
I like
and
both.
Drama has comedy.
In our
So
community, we're real dramatic. But we're also very funny.
They want you to pick a side. Again with the pick a side.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, me either.
I don't know how to pick one side. Real life doesn't just only stay drama.
Right.
And then
No.
you find,
Right.
there's gotta be a
have
little
to-
Absolutely. So I'm just gonna dig right in. We're just gonna get juicy. What's your type?
A nice stud.
right over here. Look, you see the muscles flexing? I'm kind of.
All right, well,
We're kind of
it depends on when you ask me.
Oh, okay. Well, so today at noon.
At noon today, I think I get more attracted to a person's energy than anything else. Like, I like confidence. A confident person, man or woman, is
Oh, so you.
You like an alpha? Do you like an alpha, or do
no,
you like
because
to
I'm
be
an
the
alpha.
Okay,
I'm an
great.
alpha.
Wait a minute.
I got that vibe
hold
from
on,
you
Let
that
me,
you're
get
an
the,
alpha.
let me get the tea. So you said man or woman?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So you date a girl for real?
I have for well. See, I'm from Georgia, the Bible Belt,
Oh.
and so for many a years, I was
Oh, you
exclusively
did.
dating women.
So now
you know you were
only
gay?
date men, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I had
Did
to
you
get
know
that
you were
clear.
gay when you were dating women, or was it still something that you were?
I come from a very repressed culture, and so I'm deeply religious. I was a college pastor.
Wow.
And so I didn't have time to really explore. I think if I would have given myself a little bit of time to like think about it, I would have known. Everybody else knew. I was just like, oh no, that's my girlfriend. Like we ring shopping. We were, doing the whole thing.
Did you get engaged ever?
I was really close to it, but then I met my current boyfriend.
Yes.
And I was like, wait.
Snatch
what's
your
this?
soul.
And you whipped out that church fan.
What's this?
Yes.
This
That's
I'm
a
feeling.
grown
What am I
man.
feeling
What
in
am
my
I feeling
loins?
right now?
Oh wow.
The truth.
The truth, and that's what it was. And I had, I had to take some time to kind of, both of us, because we both were coming out of a hetero mindset.
Are you each other's first?
Wow.
So wait a minute, I got a question about the lady. Did the lady realize that she was gay too, or what?
No, she's twice married now.
Because she really gay. That's why she keep having these problems.
Dang.
My last girlfriend, she's been married.
You
She
listen. You
need to
straight
get
till you ain't.
Right.
I mean, I think that there's a fluctuating scale that happens for a lot of people. In college, it's college, and so
Yeah, you're having
you're
fun.
having fun,
You're
and you're
fluid.
real
Right.
fluid in college, and then after you graduate and you get into the real world, then you realize you have to figure out what it is that you want
And what's going to work
and what's
for you.
going to work for you.
Right.
And my man is what works for me.
Yeah,
That's
that's
so
what I'm talking about.
And then when we came out as a couple to our family, our friends for years before our family.
How did that go over? In the church?
Well, our parents, our families, like my sisters, my sisters were like, duh, because like we were roommates in college, like actual roommates in college, not fake.
No slipping
not
one by
fake
then.
roommates. But she was like, my sisters were like, duh, and his parents were like, yeah, but my mom was the only one that was crying. Was like, I can't believe this,
denial.
and I was like, Mom.
Get your
She
life,
busted
girl.
out the Bible
When's
immediately.
the last
And
time I
she
brought
was
a woman home?
She was like, well, I just don't understand. And then, of course, grandkids, are you going to give me And I was like,
That's what they're just upset about.
That's
It's
really
like
what-
There are so many ways now to
Right.
be able
To
to
have
have
children.
a family
right,
Absolutely.
and how to create a
exactly.
family
I'm
outside
open
of
to being a surrogate.
Are you?
You hear that, babe?
She almost pulled my tractor.
I'm not gonna play with Margot
But
or Miko.
But yeah, but she came around really quickly, like after she had conversations with my sisters, and they were like, Mom, really?
Yeah.
And
So they had your back.
they
Your
had my
family
back.
your
And then I told my mom, and I was like, Mom, you have to tell Dad, because I don't know how I'm gonna do it, because he in the past I've heard him say really homophobic things,
Wow.
and
So
borderline.
constantly planting the seeds of you feeling like this is not okay.
Right.
So
Yeah.
how did this go?
And so my mom told my dad. She was like, "I'm gonna tell him as soon as I leave here. I'm telling him, and expect a phone call." And he called me and was like, "I just want you to know I got your back."
Oh,
And my dad is a truck driving farmer man.
of course he is.
Like,
He's from Georgia.
But you're still his
and
child.
he was like, "I got your back. Don't worry about if anybody trying to step to you. Like,
shoot their
you're
ass.
like, I got you."
dad
And I was like, taken aback by it, because like I just didn't expect it, because
And they treated your boyfriend with
yeah,
respect.
they
too?
love him because they've known him for years.
Oh,
And-
so y'all was for real
We-
with
we're-
this.
Listen, how long y'all been dating?
See, a decade
And your family found out when?
last year.
Oh my God.
Oh, well, at least he buttered him
We
up.
bu-
Yeah,
there
I
was
know.
a lot of butter.
Exactly. He was
It
already
a
part of the
lot-
family.
It was
Right,
a lot.
so
And
it's
so
like
then
they
when
couldn't shun him.
right, and then when they were like, "Well, we love Justin like a son already, and so
Yeah.
bring him, bring
That's
him on
really
in."
great.
And it was really good, and I think my dad has become a lot more of an ally than he was when it wasn't a personal.
So you're
thing.
teaching him now.
Both of my parents.
Wow.
That's
Both
what's
of my sisters are, millennial cool chicks, but my parents are like kind of they were very religious about it. Like this is wrong. We don't even got to have this discussion because it's
Right.
wrong. You know it's wrong. We not dealing with it.
Like the
But-
pastor, what's sin?
Right.
But it was
Throw
sin,
that holy water in your face.
and now like the discussions are like beautiful, and they're learning about a part of me that I've been keeping secret from them for so long that they're so excited to. We had our first Christmas with Justin, my boyfriend. Like he came to the house for Christmas for the first time, and it was just it was a beautiful experience. I think that we all had a great time, and it was also the first time I had to split my time on the holidays between his family and my family, like being that
Okay.
kind of.
It's getting real.
You gotta pick. I say pick. My
Y'all
family, we
really
always get
together,
Christmas,
for
so
real.
hopefully you guys like Thanksgiving.
How do you guys manage that anyway? I know you're married and you're in a pretty serious relationship, and I'm sure you've had plenty of serious relationships where you've had to choose between, like, how do you decide whose house you're gonna go to for the holidays? I've never been in that position before.
I'm going to both because both of them got food. So, and then nowadays some families don't even cook. So one side might not be cooking this year, and you be like, okay, well y'all can come over here or whatever y'all doing.
Yeah.
I'm going where the food at.
What about you? Have you been in that situation where you've had to choose?
Yeah, I just had like my first serious relationship probably in like 6 years, where like my first adult relationship, and it was with a woman, but it's in like. So I had to kind of find out what it was like to bring, like, am I going to bring someone home to my family? And it you know, it's like lesbian relationships move so fast.
Yeah.
But by the time we had been
They do.
together for like 3 months, it was the holidays. And so I felt like, oh, I should bring her. But in all honesty, like if I had been in any relationship with a man, I would not bring him around my family for
Right.
6 to 9 months.
Right.
And it was an issue, and she got very emotional that
You just didn't
didn't-
feel ready
yeah,
for that.
and there's nothing wrong
yeah.
with that. But I'm very protective of my family. I'm very protective of who I'm with, and I think that
It's like if
I
don't
throw
know
that
you,
around
then-
lightly, like
Yeah.
at all. But yep, some people take the families, you know, this holidays very serious, and I just don't think it's that. I got 4 parents. I got 6 step siblings.
trying to
I got a
eat.
big
Yeah.
family,
Yeah.
and I got to do them all.
It
I'm
goes
trying
both
to
ways. I feel like I used to keep people away from my family, but then they would meet my family, and my family would be like, oh, I don't like this person. And then it's a struggle. So I'd rather just let you meet them soon. My family tells me what they don't like up front, and I can say, okay, now let me look at it and see if it really bothers me enough to where I don't want y'all around, you know? But I've definitely done the relationship thing, and most of my relationships are long distance. This is going to be the first one where we're actually in close proximity. So I'm wondering if we're going to have to split the time.
Does
But
her family
usually-
live here? Your
Yeah.
families both live here in
Yeah.
California?
Normally, I'm dating someone who lives out of the state, and so I'll
Why
be
is
like,
that, Miko?
Yeah, that's a good question.
The tea.
I do enjoy my personal space.
Are you scandalizing?
no. It's
That's a
not
lot
no
of damn
scandalism
space,
on
being
my
a whole
watch.
different state.
scandal. I
Like,
just like my own space. I like my own time. I like being able to say, okay, right now when I'm with you, it's kind of like if we see each other. When we see each other, it's kind of like honeymoon phase all the time. Like I'm
Yeah,
really
that's
get
not
to
a
look
real
forward to
relationship.
it. I get to really like cut off the rest of the world and spend time with you.
you gotta get
But-
I was gonna
irritated
say
with
that's not a
them.
real relationship. I
Right. But with most of the time, my family's really big and we're really big on the holidays. So I usually get Christmas. And I just hope that they enjoy Thanksgiving because I'll come for Thanksgiving.
And what about you?
Well,
I know you said you like to eat at
I
everybody's
like
house.
to eat, so it's like my family. They have like a tradition of everybody come down. Like I have family from DC that live in Miami, so they'll come come down to the Bay Area. So we're pretty just all together. Like we'll pretty much be all together.
Nice.
So if my girl's mom was to cook or something like that, of course I would go there. But I would definitely split the
Y'all
time.
live in the same city, huh?
No, her
lives-
mom don't live in the same city, but we would go to
What is her mom? Does
her mom lives like maybe an hour and a half
Oh,
away.
that's
not
okay.
bad.
Mine is always flights. So
no.
I'm not
My,
splitting
my
nobody's
parents
time.
live in Kentucky, and my boyfriend's parents live in Georgia.
Okay.
And so like we.
Do you guys did
Oh, y'all
Christmas
gotta
Eve in
pick
one
a
spot
day.
and then
Yeah,
Christmas
like
another spot?
we did Christmas. We did like from the 22nd to the 26th at my parents, and then drove to his parents.
For New Year's.
Now I gotta ask you this, because you moved here from Georgia. You moved
Yeah.
from Georgia to Los Angeles. What's the biggest difference that you have found in dating in Atlanta versus dating here in LA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the biggest difference in Atlanta versus here is that in the LGBT community in Atlanta, a lot more people are real under the radar,
on the down low.
How was that? Like, have you ever talked to somebody on the down low?
Yeah.
So they were. What
I
was,
mean, I guess I probably would be considered having been on
You
the down
mentioned
low.
that.
Right, because you didn't really-
I didn't really like, but and I think that there were times where if I had not been a pastor, things would have. I would have.
Might pose an issue.
Things would have, but like, there's a lot. I mean, like, I think that there's a lot of people because Atlanta. Well, the Chocolate City version of Atlanta.
Ooh, chocolate City.
The Chocolate City version of Atlanta, the black community is a lot less accepting of gay men.
Which is so crazy because there's such a high concentration of gay men there. And
There,
it's like,
right.
do you feel like that because it's super religious there, that's the conflict and
I
why
th-
everyone's
They're not-
pretending?
yeah.
Absolutely, and I think that the religiosity of the South keeps people on. You know, if I hadn't have been honest with myself, I could very easily right now be married with kids. Like I was on my way there.
Running a
Jesus,
megachurch.
I'm
Yeah, like
glad you did
I was
not do
well on
that.
my way
Yeah,
there,
right.
and then I was like, well, let me sit down and be honest with myself because I'm clearly feeling something for this guy that everyone's telling me is wrong, but I'm feeling it. So
Right.
let me
You're like,
me.
so it must be something
It's
to it.
something. Let me explore this.
Right
but
is right, baby. Right is right.
right is right, and I think when you live in a community that promotes kind of pushing all of that down, you're just gonna have a bunch of people trying to do it in secret.
Yeah.
And it's like when they're like, oh, we're gonna make abortions illegal. Like,
Now we're gonna have those abortions, people getting coat hangers.
Yeah,
I
like,
know,
and
and
doing
it's
all
going to
these
cause.
crazy-
there's just gonna be
Right.
defining unhealthy, unsafe ways
Right.
of doing it in secret.
Like when alcohol was illegal back in the what, like 19...
Prohibition
Yeah.
era, yeah, like, and I think that's what in Atlanta. There's a lot more of that
I
kind
see.
of secrecy about
Did you
it.
meet a lot of men that were on the down low?
I personally didn't. I know a lot of friends that like that's their type.
So what are the
Oh,
warning
wow.
signs?
I'm about to say I know a lot. Of
That's
people
because
who-
they can get whatever they,
They can
want
get
out
what
of
they're-
them.
they don't
can
need-
manipulate them.
Yep.
Because it's like if you don't give me what I want, call your wife.
I'm calling your wife.
Oh.
I'm calling you. You know, I'll show up at your house. Like I have
Blackmail from a blackmail.
like I have friends who like that's their type because they don't want to be in like a committed relationship anyway. They just want to get where they can get. The best way to do that without feelings being caught is
down low.
download. Let me just date these dudes.
I've also heard recently that HIV has come up, I hate to mention it, but HIV has come up so much in the black male community, especially in the
Because
South,
of
because
that.
they're not talking
They're
about
not
it, so
talking
nobody's
about it.
getting checked.
Right.
It's all on the down low. Nobody's protecting themselves.
Right.
And that it's there. It's
And in LA, we got a bus on every corner for
But
STD
it's also
checks.
described as like the gay disease, so they feel like if I get checked for this, then
Right.
Then
I'm
now-
admitting to, and it doesn't have to be
Especially,
gay.
That's a great
especially
point.
Check your
like
body.
yes.
the hood dudes that's down.
Trade.
Trade.
The tra-
Trade.
yeah, like, they're not
Trade.
about to check for nothing. Like they like.
So what's a trag? It's a
Trade.
The
Trade.
Yep.
What's
Trade.
a trade?
You want to explain it, or you want me?
It's, I mean, it's basically like a
Masculine.
masculine.
You know,
like,
you see these little thug-looking
thug
guys,
guy.
little
Yeah.
hood
Football
But
boys.
they're
player.
secretly...
They feel like they
Super
look like they're not
athletic.
sick. They look like they're strong. They're these masculine men,
Nothing
and this is
feminine
they're
in their body.
they're portraying what the male is supposed to be.
Yeah.
So there's no way that they can be anything that's less than. They look at the gay man as less than, as more feminine. How could I be those things
or
if
be
I'm this?
homophobic, or speak.
They
homophobic.
Be
they-
real homophobic.
They speak. They slur so much hate.
Yeah.
And they be the ones
They
that
be
be
perpetuating.
themselves.
They hate themselves.
They be
hate
bottoms.
They hate
Some of them
themselves.
be
Right.
tops, but a lot
And
of
that's
them
what they're
be
saying to
bottoms.
themselves in their own head.
so those-
but
they
they're
won't
gonna
get
say to you
tested.
Yeah.
instead.
So what are some of the warning signs, or not even warning, because being gay is not like a disease. Being gay
Right.
is just part of being a human. But have you, like, let's say you were I was your sister, you were
Yeah.
trying to give me advice that maybe
Yeah.
this guy that I'm dating might be on the down low. What are some of the warning signs that you would suggest that a
We
person
spilling
should look
tea on
for?
lipstick tea today.
We
I
really
think-
are.
I need the tea.
I feel like, to be honest, a lot of the warning signs are the same as if you're a man or your woman
it's
cheating.
cheating in
If it's
general.
Cheating in general, like, they not home at a certain time, like, or even they phone blowing up and you like, well, we next to each other. Who the fuck texting you?
At
right now?
11:39 p.m.
Let me ask this, because this could just be off of me being funny or halfway ignorant. I don't know. I always used to tell my friends, like, because they be telling me they dudes really like anal sex. And I'd be like, I just feel like that's gay sex for men.
Gay.
And I was like, because for a woman, I'm like, do you guys enjoy it? Like, what is like enjoyable to a woman? So if it's not enjoyable to you and the guy always wants to do it, I feel like, so is that really a thing? Like,
Is it
if
a
they
red
want to
flag?
do that, is that a red flag? or
I
no?
don't think, like, a lot of people like to say there's a red flag, but here's the thing, I'm gonna be real clinical.
please.
Right?
I
Real
just wanna know.
clinical right
That's a
quick.
red flag.
Now, if
me,
they
it
like,
seems like
if
this
they
out
like
now.
every
You doing
time,
it
if
all
they
the
like
time,
every time,
you
then
only
yeah,
wanna
that's
do it from the
a
back all the
red
time.
flag when
We
it's all the
gay.
time.
People
But
don't wanna be in the
there are
front.
certain parts of the male anatomy that, when stimulated, do some things to you.
But I'm saying if he wants to do it to a woman, because it's
But
not gonna
not
stimulate,
all
I
the
think it's
time.
gonna hurt me.
Right.
Right.
don't know.
She's
But,
saying
but
if
women
your
don't
man-
have prostates.
Yeah.
But what she's saying is if your
I'm
man
a
always
woman
wants
and my
to have
boyfriend
anal
wants
sex
Oh,
with
once
me.
that. Oh,
Yeah.
You talk, okay, I got you. I
Yeah, is
got
it a
you.
red flag for the woman? Because I just feel like
No.
I asked my friend. She said
No, he
she
could just
hurt
be
for a
addicted to
while.
porn and he loves anal fucking porn.
Right, like that. I mean,
That's a
It's
good one.
real freaks out there in the world.
yeah.
Sometimes they've been fucking since 10 years old and they're like,
like,
I'm
we need
over
some
the
new
pussy.
thing.
I'm,
We
I'm
need
a
something
man.
new.
I need
Yeah.
I'm
some
gonna get it where
Tight.
get it in them where it hurts. where it's
10
tight.
years old.
Because she is like, no.
Listen,
Wes,
exit
that's really
only.
lot.
I don't know how many. You know, like the little plugs y'all got at home, and it be real loose.
No, I
don't know
don't
how
know.
loose. No, I'm talking
I
about.
don't
No,
know.
I'm
Tell me about it.
talking about the plugs at home. You know, like sometimes the wall plugs get a little loose. I don't know how many of y'all pieces is like wall plugs.
Yeah.
You mean how my
figure-
Apple cord starts falling
Yeah,
apart
just
after
figure
it's
it out.
been, what,
Tighten it
wrapped
up a little
up?
bit. 'cause
Do
ain't
your
nothing-
Kegels, and you
Kegels.
won't have to worry about it. I'll
but-
send you a workout plan.
Y'all need to check your
I hate when someone
booties
says,
and
"Oh, she's a
everything.
slut because she's been with a ton of guys." What about the girl that's been with the same dude for 10? It's the same thing. Everybody just needs to keep it.
Well, no,
Keep
because
that-
it wouldn't
that
technically
booty
get loose
tight.
if you've been with the same person, right? Because it's
Right.
the
But
same
what if you're
size,
having
the same-
way more sex with that one person than
But-
you would randomly with 10
no, but
dudes
diff-
once?
Like 6 times a day, 7 times. How
Well,
many we talking?
That's a lot of
But
time.
I think
That'll
that
loosen anything.
that
Right.
idea would be looser because of the size changes.
And
guys,
you ain't
right?
got no job if you can have
That's
sex
what I would
6
think.
to 7 times a day.
Because I feel like if you're using the same size, then it's. I mean, there's
But it-
times
I mean,
I've
like,
made
but-
time.
but-
I've
but-
made
but
time.
Unless
like,
you work
but
for your.
I'm talking about
Positionally-
every day. You ain't got no
Positionally,
job.
things.
still- okay.
Yeah, you know, change your
real.
position up.
When do you work
Depending on
more?
how athletic
You need to be
can
doing Kegels all the time, okay?
She's doing them right now.
I am.
Look, I don't
I
even know
am.
what
The
Kegels
more you
is.
know.
As we speak.
I don't even know what the hell Kegels is.
Can we do a group Kegel together?
What's that?
Ready?
Some
One,
little- some
two.
little
Wait, what?
balls, put them in there and you.
Yo,
tighten
what?
it. No,
All
you
right,
don't
guys. So we're gonna move on to the next
Y'all
topic.
tightening y'all stuff up with balls.
I want to know what your dating deal breakers are. Got them real quiet on.
I'm a very. I can't date someone that's mean, like mean to me or any like
Just mean spirited.
just mean spirited,
Angry.
like just angry all the time. I don't have time for that because that seeps into me.
Because you're taking away my energy.
You taking you right,
Because now I gotta calm you down.
Soul
I
tie.
gotta call you,
And now calm me
yes,
down.
Like I'm
Ties.
just like I can't get, but I can't get with a person that's like just mean, just angry,
talking about everybody.
Yeah, like all of that. Like, you know, I'm really into dramatic people. So like, but like
You're a producer. of
yeah, like
course.
drama for the fun of it versus drama because you got issues that you're not working through.
Yeah. What about you, Margot? What is some of your dating deal breakers?
You know, for having me lower my independence or sense of dominance, because if I'm walking in the room first and acting like I know where I'm going just because I feel like I should walk with a purpose and a presence after living in New York. And I was dating this one guy and he was like, "Where are you going? We're going that way. You're just gonna walk yourself right into a wall. You're gonna keep walking till you have no idea where we're going. We're going that way, sweetheart." I was like,
And he was
and
right,
also
or was
people
he
who are
wrong?
disrespectful to people in the service industry, which means
That's
they
a
have
good- yeah.
never had to serve anyone else and they've always been served.
Yeah.
And if you have zero respect for people in the service industry, it really breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point. What about you?
Dang, so you guys, I usually say the same thing. I don't like mean-spirited people, and the way you tell is usually I like people who like animals and like people who are good with people at service. So outside of that, I'm gonna say I need you to be family-oriented. I feel like when I need you to have like some type of ties. I've noticed I've dated people before who either don't have a lot of close friends or have none, and then they might either only have their mom or they're not close to their family. And at the end of the day, there has to be a problem with you. It can't be everybody else in the world that
Right.
has the problem. It has to be you. Like you have to be part of the problem.
Right.
So I can't do that. Like if I realize like I have a big family, and if you can't get along with my family, I don't know
If
what
she
to
treats
tell
her
you.
mother like crap, that's
Right.
Yeah.
What about you, Shorty? We know you're locked down and everything,
I
but
don't like women who, or I mean, I've dated women who are extremely mean to me, and I was nothing but nice to them. So I can't date no Sagittarius or no Gemini.
She's calling them out.
Definitely mean.
if your name is
man,
so
my
and
girl's
so,
a
I can't date you.
that's Bridget.
I
You
can't
know
do
when
it.
you were born.
Because I don't like people
My girl's
who are
Sag.
hella like super serious all the time. Like handling your business, taking care of your shit, that's attractive. I like that. But super serious to where we're not having fun, we're not laughing and joking. Like I'm goofy.
Yeah.
My girl's goofy. Like we when it's time to get serious, it's time to get serious. But I've dated people that were hella serious all the time, hella angry. I didn't like that, and that energy rubs off on you.
Absolutely.
To where they'll be angry and mean to certain people or whatever, or like
And
girls who
it's a
feel like they're-
reflection of you as well.
Right, and
It's-
they acted like they were better than people. And I'd be like, you don't even have a pot to piss in, but you're
Right.
acting like you got a mansion. Sit the fuck down. Like, bring it back
Absolutely.
down. So if you're mean, you treat people unfairly and fucked up, you got a bad attitude, I can't rock with that. I
For
just
me,
like
it's
people with good energy.
definitely, I don't like mean people either, but I also feel like as a man or a woman, you're entering into my life. If we can't meet at the same level or lift each other up, then I definitely can't be involved. My thing is, I had a relationship where I was dating someone who wanted me to parent them, and they just did not have it together, and everything was like a huge ordeal. Like some crazy thing would happen at least once a week, like, oh my God, I ran out of gas on the freeway, or oh, I locked myself out. And it was like, those things happen to us, but when it's every week I'm saving you from something, like I would like someone to be somewhat independent,
Just call
you know,
AAA.
so that
Don't call me this time.
I don't as
I
women,
value that.
as women,
independence.
like in society in general, like it's almost like you guys are told that you have to kind of be a parent a little bit.
Which in some, I'm very nurturing, don't get me wrong. I'll cook for you, I'll clean for
We're
you, I'll
taught
tell you
that.
I love you, I'll rub your back after work. But I also want to know that if shit hits the fan for me, that you got me just as much as I
Right,
got you.
right.
It can't be like I'm always the one saving you from something. Like,
Right.
know who you are, know what you want, and we can figure it out together in some areas, but you know.
I agree.
Not
I feel like I'm always the mom, and people call me the mom. I'm the mom in every situation, but that also makes me realize that I don't like people who are pessimistic. Like, I'm a very optimistic person. Like, the car will stall, and I'll say, you know what? It probably stalled because it stopped us from hitting that accident.
Yeah, there's
that's
a
5 minutes
reason.
away. So I'm that person, and I feel like I'm always that person, and it really, really bugs the hell out of me when I'm going through something and I needed somebody to be that person for me, and I'm dating someone and they can't.
And their glass
Because
is half
they're-
empty.
Because they're always on the glass half empty. They're always, something's always wrong. And I'm like, if I show you something, because I'm a photographer, if I show you something, or if I show you something I've done or something I'm interested in, and the first thing you have to say is negative, or those type of things bother me. And it's like we just bump heads, and I'm just like, why am I always the one to see the good side? Why am I always the one to be able to say to you, babe, it didn't work this time, but it's gonna work next time because
Right.
you just
It
got to
should
do
be that
this because we
same-
can.
same
So I
energy.
need somebody who's optimistic. I hate when people are always like the Debbie Downers.
Absolutely.
That pisses me
I
off.
don't like
I
that
agree with
either.
that too. I mean, I think it's hard enough to like survive in this world with everything you're experiencing, and when you go home to those people who are supposed to be your safe space, you
Yeah.
want to feel safe and uplifted and loved, and it's like I don't want to have to fight a battle when I get home.
Right.
So
Can I ask y'all a question?
please.
So we was talking about relationships and we mentioned sex and stuff earlier.
We did.
What's a good amount of time to have sex a week in your relationship? I want to know.
A good amount of time, like
to have
like
a healthy
how many
relationship.
times should you be having
so
sex?
Okay,
7
so
days in a week.
let's listen, but also think about if we're in a healthy relationship, because I know in the beginning we're all fucking like bunnies. I
Every
feel
day.
like a jackrabbit.
Pretty much.
That's what we do. But once you're in that relationship and you've been there for a while, what's the good amount? Like, how many times a
It
week or
depends
a
on
month should you be
how
having
many
sex? to get
how many
healthy?
jobs
Please.
you got? 'Cause
That's what that's the
Because
thing.
I can speak for, well, you
many
too.
times?
Yeah.
Okay, so like me and
How
Margo,
busy are
we're
we this
active.
week?
Right.
So we if somebody calls us about something we submitted, we gotta get the fuck up and go. You're a screenwriter. There's times where you gotta, hey,
Right.
I know we said we was gonna shoot on Tuesday, but we gotta shoot right now.
Right.
Like I got a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like
100%.
when I'm done doing my jobs, I barely have time to relax. I might get 3 hours of sleep in one day,
Right.
and that's
Right.
like either stretched out or because
So
I
you got to
overslept.
get it when you
You
can.
get it when you can,
is it-
but
so-
then you know what I've learned? You do have to make time for what you want.
Right.
And
So
what
is it
you
okay to have a
need.
planned sex date?
I don't think it's a problem. I don't mind being on the calendar. If you say, look, I know you're busy, but Saturdays is fucking days, all day.
Heck yeah.
I'll take that because I'm
Yeah.
not tripping. Because I know, look, I can't go to this audition. I can't do Saturdays.
Yeah.
I'm locked in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's
Could
cool.
schedule
And
it.
it's something you have to do that
Sometimes.
It's
just-
part of adulting.
because
Right.
you know my man is a production designer, so when he gets a job,
Get that money.
You know, a month straight, I don't see him except
No,
when we
but
go into bed.
in LA, sometimes you have seasons like that,
You have-
like
right.
pilot season.
Hiatus,
3D
though, hiatus is on.
And you got to be
Yeah.
able to go through those dry
Yeah.
seasons without bitching about it to know
Yeah.
that let me get my money because you're not going to pay for my life. I'm going to pay for my life.
Exactly.
Let me get my money. And then when we're good, because you know things are only temporary, sometimes it's a month.
You're right.
Then let's celebrate it because I got the money.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you don't let me get the
Exactly.
money, you're gone.
I totally feel
But
you
you
on
know
that.
what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to balance it out. and you have to date the right person.
Yeah.
That knows.
If
So
that knows your job. Because when I first got with my girl, I told her I did music and stuff like that, but she didn't know what level
What it looked
was
like,
on.
right,
Yeah.
what it looked like.
So when this is kind of like when Snapchat first, was popping and all that. I had a show with Sage Gemini, shout out to Sage, and like Petaluma or something. So when I showed her the snap of like all these kids in the audience going crazy, she was like, oh,
Oh, this is real.
that's what you
Yeah.
do. Okay. But she's not a limelight type of person. Like, she'd rather be behind the scenes and she's quiet, does her thing. So she doesn't care. She cares about, support. She supports me. She's like my #1 fan. But she's not one of those groupie type girls.
Right.
Like, she's not.
So how do you manage that? That's a whole nother time. So for me, to answer your question, I would say 2 to 3 times a week minimum. But when you're
So she wanna
adulting, it's
fuck like a
hard to.
jackrabbit.
It's
Right,
hard
but
to. Not every week's gonna work out like that.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think for me, like 2, 3 times, I would say that works for me. But anything less than that, I'll start getting a little nervous.
worried.
I'm like,
Questioning.
wait,
Hold
what
on.
happened?
But I think you
She a
should
freak
have.
freak.
I think you should have like sex dates and stuff like we said. But like if you're busy during the week, like if acting and shit, if you're busy, I think a cool head session would be cool too.
Absolutely.
Like let me get you head, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
right for that little hour.
I'm more of a morning fuck than a nighttime fuck. Because nighttime, I'm like, yo, I got 6 hours of
sleepy.
sleep. I'm calculating my sleep. And
I don't want the morning because I gotta get up and brush my
Right.
teeth.
I'm agreeing with Shorty on
I'm
this
sorry,
one.
if we've been together long enough.
Breath is breath.
No, if you got some badass breath, I'll tell you. But I ain't really had nobody that got horrible ass morning breath.
No,
and
but
honestly,
it's like I don't
if you just go
want to eat
straight,
you out with my morning
Listen,
breath.
If I love you, it's fine.
if you go
Dive right in there.
if you go straight to eating
Dive
pussy
right
in the
in.
morning, you're gonna come back up with pussy breath, and I'm okay with that.
yep.
Pussy breath and morning breath to combine.
They cancel out. One cancels the other one
Right,
out.
right.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes, you gonna wake up, you gonna come up to me with pussy breath, and I mean it's my pussy, so
Hey,
kiss away.
I ain't tripping, but I afternoon is cool because I didn't took a
I'm
nap.
busy.
As long as I got the energy, it's good.
Yeah, I'm a morning person too, because at night I be sleeping. I don't want you to wake me up.
I like
I
to
just
ate
fall
and I'm
asleep.
full. I
Right,
like
I
to fall
feel
asleep
fat.
all
Leave me
intertwined
alone.
in me. Anyway, enough about
I had
that.
a burrito.
So one last topic, you guys. We talk about dating. We talk about what we do for a living and how we are all creative and how that can be a little, a bit of a conflict when choosing people to date. So how has that affected you? Like, have you ever been with somebody who really didn't understand your career and your lifestyle?
Yeah, I mean, I think when I was dating girls exclusively, that was an issue a lot of times because I was almost exclusively dating girls who had no creative inclination whatsoever, and so they were like, "What do you mean? Like you gonna be going to Detroit to shoot whatever?" Or like, "What do you mean you gonna be in the studio for the whole day?" Like, and
Bitch,
I'm
I
like,
got to work.
I gotta do shit.
I feel like men are more understanding if you
Asking
give me
me
your
all
money
these
than women are.
questions.
I feel that way.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't
I have
know.
to agree with you on that. I mean, the relationships I have been in with women have seemed a little more on the codependent side.
Yeah.
To the point where, like, when I'm with a man, like, I mean, he's a little more understanding. But I think men or women, you can find it is possible to find that balance with
Right.
someone.
But
it
I
takes
think,
time.
but I think that when you start getting like, I always tell people like, I'm glad that I'm in the relationship I'm in and how long we've known each other because as we continue to succeed in our careers, there's a certain stability. Like I know what you're doing. Like I know you, and
I know
so
how you
like
move.
I know how you move. You know how I move. So I'm not going to be worried about whether or not you got the hustle that you need to keep going. You don't
Right.
have to worry about that for me. You know, when I'm out doing what I got to do, you don't got to worry about who I'm with, or
Right.
that trust is
Right.
built
Right.
because we've weathered all these storms,
I'm trying to get there.
and
gonna
it
get
takes
there, boo.
time.
You gonna-
It
But
takes
you know what?
time.
In certain instincts, like I had a show in Seattle, and I love traveling with my girl, like because she's my best friend. So I want to go and see the world with her. I want to see experience new things with her. Like it's fun. So Seattle was like super cold, but I was able to take her with me. We flew out there. So it's like certain acting gigs or certain things I'm doing. Like even when I come to LA, like I want her to come with me.
Yeah.
And if she's able to come with me, she can. If she's not able to, if she has to work and stuff, then she won't.
So she's
But
understanding when there are times on sets where you can't bring her along.
I can't bring her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. If you're dating an actor or a creator or artist, anybody in the industry at all we need is from you is just support and be
honesty.
our peace. Because we're dealing with assholes all day
All
sometimes.
damn day.
I'm dealing with motherfuckers that look like shit, but I came in the audition like, oh no, you're not tall enough, you're not cute enough. Like, bitch, you not cute enough, girl.
It's true. Casting directors are the worst looking people
But
most
you know what?
times.
They don't care because they know they're not gonna be on
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
But the thing about it, you have to have someone that supports you because it be times where I go through shit like that, or if I do an audition and I don't get it, and I'm thinking
Right.
like I nailed that shit. What the fuck wrong with them? My wife is there to be like, you know what, babe, you get the next one. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's they
Your
fault.
pussy.
Fuck them. You
I'm
know,
like,
like
come
she
here,
would
jump on.
encourage me. So as long as you have somebody on your team that's supporting you, that's genuinely there for you, that's cool. Because I know people that will have people on their team, but they're just waiting for them to blow.
Oh my gosh, I've had that experience where I felt
Waiting.
like
Yeah.
they were just a coattail rider and just kind of like
Waiting.
sitting in the shadows,
Right.
waiting, not really contributing.
And they're just holding on enough, like they're being your friend enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they'll reach out to you enough, but then sometimes you catch those people that you could start telling like, okay, she only hits me up when I got like a big gig.
Absolutely.
He only hits me up when he sees what I'm doing. No, hit me up when I ain't got nothing, when I'm broke, when I ain't got no gig,
When
I
I'm
ain't did
crying.
no commercial in 3 months.
Right,
Like, you know what I'm
right.
saying? At the end of the day, that's what keeps me grounded is with having like my mom. I could go to her house. She don't care what's going on. Hey, take my trash out.
Right.
Yeah.
Like my mom keeps me grounded. She treats me as her child. Like she don't care about all that stuff.
Yeah.
And
Shorty,
my wife is the
Shorty, take
same.
that trash.
Family is important in that regard. Like
very
my sister, one of my sisters texted me the other week and was like, I decided to Google your name and all this shit popped up and I was like, oh. And I was like, yeah, you think I've just been out here for 8 years just kind of twiddling my thumb? She was like, I don't know, you my brother. I don't
Care about
I
that.
don't care about that. And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm out here.
We out here.
I'm out
We
here.
out
Somebody
It
here.
would also be great if you wanted to be my number one
Yeah,
fan
like-
as my sister and be supporting me and understanding what I'm doing.
Right, like
It would probably bring us
it'd be nice.
closer and have us more to talk about.
It would be
Right.
nice, but I also know my sister, and my sister, she doing her own thing, but she was like, I Googled your name, and I was like, oh.
That's
Oh,
nice.
also, you were thinking about
So you Googled me.
You Googled
Yeah,
me.
I'm-
Google me.
Hey, you're somebody when you're Googleable.
Googleable.
Before we wrap this episode up, all of you guys that are watching, I just want y'all to know we do read your comments and we value them. We read your DMs and we appreciate your contributions to our show so that we can continue to give you life. So the next episode, we're going to talk a lot about gender roles and reversing those roles. And we were thinking about reversing our own gender roles and maybe dressing up a little bit for you guys. Would you like to see Shorty dressed as a femme?
Ooh.
No.
If you would, please leave a comment below, and we're gonna tally them up, and,
Don't leave
and
no
we might
comment.
dress as studs too to surprise you.
That ain't gonna count. Don't leave no comment. We're not having that.
Don't worry, I'll bring a lace front for her just in case she's not prepared.
Not having that.
But thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate your support. This has been another episode of Lipstick Tea. I'm gonna go ahead and let you introduce yourself first again, so they can find you on social media.
I am Michael on social media. I'm official Michael. That's official MYKELL.
Instagram. That's Instagram.
Margo.
Yes.
Margo.
You're so used to being over there.
I'm not here.
It's Margot Graf. You can follow me, MARGO. What you see is what you get, and Graf like graffiti.
So follow Margot. She's single.
Am I single? You don't know. Nobody needs to know.
Look, that's for the
Okay.
work. That's
I'm interviewing, okay?
Oh.
Let them
She's
know.
accepting applications. Send them to my DM. Anyway, Instagram is Miko_rounds.
Cause she go rounds.
Instagram. I love all my fans on Instagram and Twitter because I love all my fans. I love y'all.
And you can find me at Tiffany, like the jewelry store, Tony, like the boxer. That's Tiffany_Tony_. And feel free to send DMs as long as they're not crazy or out of control or unsolicited dick pics.
Oh, y'all
See
Do
you
it.
next
She's got a 3D printer. She's like,
Oh, you got dick pics in your stuff?
I don't like them. I don't want them.
I wish a motherfucker
We
would.
love you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Shit.
3D print that shit.